Hey, what's up, guys? Gonz here for the Face Like the Sun channel. I've talked about this idea of how virtual reality is opening up a gateway into the spiritual realm. And I know it sounds fantastic and a little bit crazy, but if you look at what digitization is doing and how the electromagnetic grid is being formed all around us, it becomes pretty clear that something is really going on. Now, I found this interview on the Leak Project channel. It's called People Are Seeing the Machines That Control This Reality, 5G Matrix and ETs Talking Through World Web. And it interviews Lynn Williams, who is a shamanic healer and etheric implant and negative energy remover and, kind of new agey or whatever. I'm going to play a clip for you of her talking about not just how this technology itself has become something to enhance the communications with these entities, but her experience as well, which I will say just from the beginning, think is messing around with fallen spirits and demonic entities. And I mean, she even talks about the reptilians being in her room and all this stuff. I think she's dabbling with entities that don't have her best interest in mind. That's just my opinion. I've never talked to Lynn Williams, and I'm sure she would just call me, a fundamentalist Christian, radical, whatever. But I don't know. Those conversations would be great to have. In any case, listen to this clip because I think parts of her experience with these things is real. So it's not so much that I'm dismissing her story. I'm just sharing my perspective on it that I think, based on the Bible and what it tells us with 2 Corinthians verse 14, where it says, "No wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." Well, that word disguises is the Greek word metaskizmazo, which means I change the outward appearance, transfigure, adapt. In other words, shape shift. Okay, so this idea of shape shifting is actually in the Bible. The definition of this word is to change in fashion or appearance, transform, figuratively applied, disguising, disguises. So obviously, if you put on a costume, that's one thing as well, but we're talking about Satan and his fallen angels here. So something to consider, but again, I'm talking too much here. Check out this clip.
My friend was in Silver Lake. I was in Marina Del Rey, California, and we had this friend down in Sao Paulo. And we started noticing over the Skype line, these weird mechanical sounds would come in. And I'd say, "What's that?" And the gal down in Sao Paulo would say, "Oh, that's the ETs." And I'm like, "No way." And she said, "Oh, yeah, they're talking to us." And I have come to find out, by the way, that they do use technology as a conduit. I've done another talk on that with another interviewer about how the interface of technology allows these beings to come through even more. And so what would happen is I would go into this light trance. I'd be sitting in my office chair listening on Skype, and I would start to trance out a little bit. And so we'd Skyped a few times. They came over a few times. Each time we kind of trance out, and my friend